evening, viewers, and welcome to another special edition of Parrot Show. Today, I have with me the festival director, Carlow Film Festival Island, Mr. Ade Oke. Mr. Ade Oke, how are you doing?
I'm very well, Peter. Thank you very much.
It's good to have you here. Today, incidentally, this is the second production we're having in the year, and we have you in the house.
Yeah, thank you
I
very
would
much.
say that that's a blessing.
Yeah, it is. It is indeed.
Yeah, welcome to Parrot Show once again.
Oh, thank you very much. And you are doing a great work. Continue with the great work.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I know that, like you, we are the first generation of immigrants in Ireland, and we owe our people, the society, a duty to build foundations that people coming, generations coming after us, we look up to and say, yes, our forefathers were here.
Exactly. Like Chancellor Rotimi Adebari will put it, that posterity would ask us, what would you do? You know, in terms of bettering their lot. So
Yeah.
we're trying to do our best.
Yeah.
And that is all we can do.
Yeah. We came in here not meeting anybody. Like if you go to London now, you could say that the 80 years old man or the 70 years old man, was there before you. It's probably your uncle, your father, or someone you know.
Yeah.
At least that's a black
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
But we don't have it here.
Yeah, the structures were already in place there, and people you just get in and you fall into the structure. But we had to start from the very basic here in terms of even trying to let the Irish people understand, where we're coming from and our culture, our people, what we believe in. So we had to start from the scratch.
Yeah.
But in UK, like you rightly say, or most other European countries, these structures have been in place. People have knowledge of, or people would have had interactions with Africans in the past.
Yeah. Anyway, that's about who we are.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's get down to our business. A lot of people have heard about the name Ade Oke. They've heard about the festival director, Carlow Film Festival. They probably have not met him. So, for the viewers who are watching us today, who is the man, Mr. Ade Oke?
Okay, like you rightly said, my name is Ade Oke. I'm generally known as Ade Oke for short. That is the name I adopted when I got here because it's easier for people to say Ade, and my surname is very easy for anyone to remember. It's a three-letter word, okay. So I'm generally known as Ade Oke. I came into this country in early 2000. About 13 years ago into this country, and I found Ireland to be my home, and I regard it as my home because the very first day I came into Ireland, I found myself in Carlow. I settled into Carlow very quickly, and I've been a Carlow man since then. I mean, people wonder, I work in Dublin, I live in Carlow. Why do you make that journey every day? But Carlow is home to me. I've made a lot of friends, families in Carlow, so it's somewhere where I'm really very comfortable. So I've been working in the last 12 years in the health service, the Irish health service system, which is referred to as the HSC. In my spare time, I do a lot of activities. I do a radio show called The Rainbow on KCLR 96 FM. That's a Kilkenny Carlow local radio. I do that every Wednesday night from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I've been doing that since 2004. And I also run the Carlow African Film Festival, which is entering into its 9th year. So basically, in short, that is all about me.
Long resume.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned the Carlow Film Festival.
Yeah.
That's what I'm actually interested in, apart from the other ones that are very commendable. Tell me about the Carlow Film Festival.
What I want to give background information about the Carlow African Film Festival, I always tie that in with my radio show because in 2004 I approached KCLR 96 FM. They were just coming on stream at that stage. I sent in a proposal to do a multicultural show, something that will be the flagship of multicultural show in Ireland. Fortunately, the proposal was accepted, and I started the program when the first went on air in May 2004. And basically, the program is about showcasing who we are and letting the Irish know more about us through this radio show. I did that for about a year, and after a year, I sat down, I looked at what other platform can one use to get the information out there for people to know who we are, where we're coming from, for people to understand our culture. And I thought the cinema would be a great tool to achieve that. It's a great tool for communication. I mean, you go to the cinema, you watch a film. I mean, apart from the storyline, there are so many things you learn from the film. You learn the culture of the people. You learn the way the people live. You learn some of the things they believe in. So I thought that the cinema is a powerful tool to achieve that. So I set machinery into motion to start the Carlow Film Festival. I went around to a few local businesses. I shared the idea with them. Some of them decided to support the film festival. And the very first one we had was in Seven Oaks Hotel, and it was a low-profile festival. We screened about 4 different films over a weekend period in the Seven Oaks Hotel in one of the function rooms. But it was greatly welcomed by the people of Carlow. So after the event, a number of people came to me and they volunteered to work with me in raising the profile of the festival. And one of them happened to be the art officer of the Carlow County Council. She volunteered to work with me and a number of people. So after the very first film festival, we constituted a committee comprising 5 people. Myself, the art officer, Sinead Dowling, Max Murphy, who happened to be the program director of the radio station at that stage, the late Thompson Akilmi Street, and David Donoghue, who is a local Carlovian, a children fiction writer. So the 5 of us came together and we worked together to raise the profile of the festival to what it is today. So that is how the festival started.
I must commend you. Congratulations. The festival is a success story. And I know that is a yearly event.
Yeah.
And going to the festival, I have seen that is a true celebration of diversity in the new multicultural island. And in fact, when I go to Carlow African Film Festival, I tend to see this reflection of, the mainstream society, the immigrant community, and what is most inspiring of it all is that it's not just the Irish, it's not just the Africans, nor the Asians. Everyone is sitting on the same place and enjoying the films. And after the films, there's an after party. And in the after party, you just see this family affair.
Yeah.
It's a family affair.
Yeah.
And I must congratulate you and your co-committee members for doing such a fantastic work.
You're very welcome. And you're very right in saying that the festival, it's a platform for integration and interaction. If you look at the key objectives of the festival, the festival intends to celebrate the beauty and diversity of Africa through cinema. And we also celebrate excellence in African filmmaking. And above all, for those of us who are here, like you rightly said at the very beginning of the program, that we are the first set of immigrants in Ireland. So above all, it's to celebrate that cultural diversity, the cultural integration and interaction. And we achieve that interaction element of it through the screening of this film, people sitting together, interacting after the film, and then the festival party, which we usually use to round off the party. You see different people coming together, chatting, and people can freely ask questions about what they don't understand, what they have seen in the cinema. If there's anything about the culture of the people that people don't understand, during the party you see people standing around asking questions, chatting and interacting, and that is what we want to achieve.
Okay. So let's start by, because I've written down a couple of points that I need to ask you. And now that we're talking about integration, do you think that Carlow Film Festival is achieving enough of that? Are you satisfied with the level of integration that Carlow Film Festival is helping to bring
Yeah.
about?
Well, you use the word satisfied. I wouldn't say I am entirely satisfied with what the integration we have achieved. There is a lot done and a lot to be achieved. We're trying our best, and that is the only thing we can do. But in terms of what we have achieved to date, I think we've done a lot of work. A lot of grounds have been covered. People know about the Carlow African Film Festival. People look forward to it every year. We bring together people of different ethnicity, different religious creed. People come wherever country you are from. The festival has been able, specifically in Carlow, to bring people together. So in terms of integration, we've achieved a lot, but I know that a lot still has to be done. So we're working you can't say that you've achieved it all. You have to keep working.
When you say has helped to bring people together, has it helped to bring a better understanding of who we are, of that we have different cultures and our cultures are important, and they have our cultures, different cultures have got a lot to learn from and to offer if we only give each culture that chance to
Yeah.
know about it. Is Carlow Film Festival able to bring about that celebration of different cultures after, not just during the festival, but after the festival?
Yeah, after the festival, I would say that, I mean, first of all, it has created that understanding that first people understand the Africans, because basically we concentrate on Africa, we screen African cinema. People kind of understand. A lot of the time, some people don't even realize that Africa is a continent. They see Africa as a country. But through the films, over the years, we've shown films from different part of Africa. They kind of get to know that, yes, Africa is a big continent and has several countries. And now they've come to understand that, the cultures are different. Because they see a certain culture on display during a screening, and then they find out that the following year another culture, and they interact with people, and people, they've come to realize that there is that difference. Even though we're very similar, but there is still that difference and so a lot of the time people now understand the way we think, the way we do things, why we do things the way we do things. So I think in a way, outside of the cinema, it has created that cross-cultural understanding. And in terms of, we get the Irish people too involved, we get other nationals involved in, at the opening. If you were at the opening, you've been at the opening every year.
Yeah.
And you see the way we run. We have a different cultural display. We get other countries involved as well. So when two or more cultures interact, learning is bound to take place. And learning is not a one-way thing. It's a two-way thing. So they are learning from us and we are learning from them. And that is what we actually mean by cross-cultural understanding.
Yeah. And they are able to know that in every culture, there's the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah,
There's the beautiful
definitely.
one, there's the bad one, and that the ordinary lives that you experience in Ireland, it's just the same way people experience the same ordinary lives wherever they are.
Yeah.
And that's what I think the film through the festival is able to project. When you see people living their everyday life, trying to survive, trying to do the things that will give life a meaning, and you haven't been to that country, but seeing it, you are able to empathize and you are able to appreciate that. But that's the same thing we do here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you start realizing that life is all the same, whether we're black, whether we're white.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it also breaks down that barrier. It breaks down the fear. People kind of before we started coming to Ireland, a lot of people have different impression about Africa. I mean, through the film festival, I've made French. I've kind of established friendship with some people. And in 2010, a lady who is very much associated with the film festival, an Irish lady, went with me for the first time to Uganda. she was so interested in going to Africa, and she went with me to Uganda in 2010. And I will say that is one of the things that the film festival has achieved in terms of, breaking down the barrier, the fear that people have about Africa. Africa is as safe as any other country in the world. And like you rightly said, that we have the good, the bad, the ugly. That is just a reflection of every society. You find those three elements in any society you go to.